Are the New Orleans Saints exploring a trade for Taysom Hill to send him to the Denver Broncos possibly? We're going to talk about this and a whole lot more on today's video, but let's just dive into the trade rumors as a whole and waste no time whatsoever. So the New Orleans Saints, they need cap space and draft capital very badly. They only have about 5 picks right now in the draft. They are expecting 3 comp picks for David Onyemata, Caden Ellis, and Marcus Davenport, all leaving in free agency last offseason. And why we're talking about the fit to the Broncos is because Sean Payton loved Taysom Hill. He was a big fan of what he could do, and he was the one who actually gave him that 4-year, $40 million extension before heading out and walking out the door in New Orleans. And we have to address this. He is turning 34 years old, so he's getting up there in the age column, but this stage in his career, he's still one of the best all-around football players in the NFL. I mean, I would love for you to get in the comment section and name me a player who can throw passes, catch passes, rush the ball, make defensive plays, block kicks, block punts, return kicks, return punts, play special teams. Like, come on. You see what I'm saying? There's no other player in the NFL who does that. Taysom Hill is one of one. But guys, if you want to keep him in New Orleans, help me out. Let's hit that thumbs up icon, like this video. If we can get at least 300 likes, I'm feeling really good about Taysom Hill sticking around in the Bayou for at least another season. So don't jinx it. Like the video. But let's dive into the production, into the talent of Taysom Hill. This guy is special. He is so unique, and he could realistically demand some really important attention when he's playing on the offensive side of the ball. In 2023, the production was a little bit down, did a little bit more in terms of the receiving area than he has in his entire career with 291 receiving yards, 7 total touchdowns. But in 2022, 575 carries, 77 receiving yards, 240 passing yards, and 11 touchdowns. And another point I want to make here is ever since Sean Payton left, the number of passes that Taysom Hill has thrown has gone down. So that's something to consider here, and there is a possibility that the Broncos move on from Russell Wilson. But let's make one thing clear. I want to keep Taysom Hill. I want to make it a little bit more clear for you guys who are already in the comment section, who already have commented, you want to trade Taysom, you hate the Saints, whatever. I want to keep number 7 in New Orleans. Got it? We good? Because when number 7 is in, the Saints win games. It's that simple. It's a formula of success that just works. I don't know how. I don't know why, but it works. For no reason. The NFL cannot seem to stop Taysom Hill. And let me just make one point here. He is one of a kind. He is the only player in the Super Bowl era to have 10+ passing touchdowns, 10 or more rushing touchdowns, and 10 or more receiving touchdowns. Now, I did make the point a minute ago that ever since Sean Payton left, his usage as a passer has started to go down. I don't think that Taysom Hill should be a quarterback 1 in the NFL. And if you think he should be, I'm sorry to disagree with you, but I'm here to explain to you he is as good as he is and as effective as he is because Hill doesn't always throw the ball. When you have him either running or receiving the ball as well, his usage is much more unpredictable, thus much more effective. I love Taysom Hill. He's one of a kind in my book and in my eyes. So if you think he is special as well, show him some love by typing his jersey number 7 down in the comment section. If you want to type it 7 times, just go above and beyond to show some extra love to Taysom. I don't blame you. Just give me some love in the comments. Type those 7s, baby. All right, let's talk about the cap space because that is something that is worth considering here. When it comes to New Orleans, right now they are about $82 million over the cap. However, there are reports from Mike Florio that the salary cap could increase from $243 million to about $250 million, meaning the Saints would be about $7 million less in the red, giving them that much more money to be a little flexible with once they get over the cap, just to kind of give you guys that information in case you didn't know that. But the Taysom Hill contract is really tough to trade Because as the New Orleans Saints do, they love backloading that dead cap hit or backloading the contracts because they don't want to have to pay him right then and there. I mean, I don't blame him. It's been working, but there's no Super Bowls. Like, you've gotten good players in, you've gotten to keep good players around, but you ain't winning the Super Bowl. So it's like, how much longer are we going to keep doing this? So I don't blame those of you who want to stop kicking the can. But in terms of the contract, if you were to trade him before June 1st, you're actually losing money. You'd lose at $1.1 million. But if you traded him after June 1st, you're not getting the draft compensation that you would want in 2024. And you would save $10 million in 2024, but you still got the dead cap hit later on that you can spread out over the next handful of years and stuff. So if a trade were to go down, it would likely be a post-June 1 trade. So that way the Saints could save that $10 million. However, I don't think that the Saints are going to do it. But I want to talk a little bit more about Taysom Hill, and I want to get you guys geared up in the process. So if you want to go and get yourself a Taysom Hill jersey, I think he's going to be around New Orleans for a little bit longer, but in case he isn't, this could be your last possible chance to get one, so go get yourself. We got men's, we got women's, we got the home, the away, the color rush, whatever jersey you want. If you want to support our guy Taysom Hill, go to chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. The link is in the comment section and description of this video because I love you. So let's talk about the question of what should the Saints do with Taysom Hill. If they don't want to trade him, okay, fair. If you extend him, the Saints actually save $7 million. If you restructure his contract, the Saints will save about $6.5 million, just over $6.5 million. And if you cut or trade him post June 1, we just talked about it, the Saints save $10 million with about $5.5 million in dead money. So what would you do? With all of that information in your corner, you save $10 million if you trade him post June 1. You extend him, you save a little extra money. You restructure him, you save some money there. So what would you do? Just give me E for extend, R for restructure, C for cut, T for trade. Or if you just want to keep him and leave the contract alone and just let it be what it be, just let it be and let it just, live a little bit, just give me a K in the comment section. So in my take to kind of put a bow on this discussion, I'm keeping Taysom Hill. But I will say this, if there's anyone in the world that were to overpay and overcompensate for a trade for this player that you see right here, it's Sean Payton. That guy has the biggest man crush on Taysom Hill. And I did put out a tweet kind of talking about, hey, here's how much money the Saints could save if they did this. It's actually the graphic that you saw, the what would we do if you if you extended him, restructured him and stuff. And I tweeted out all that information, and good friend of the program and personal professional friend of mine, Ross Jackson, he quote tweeted and he responded to it. He said you could always ask him to take a pay cut and stay. So that is another option that the New Orleans Saints could possibly explore, but I wanted to just float that out there. Shout out to Ross for not only interacting with the post, but also showing some love and being a great friend of the program here. So lock us in, New Orleans Saints fans, if you want to be covered and notified if New Orleans makes a trade. We got you covered, because if anything happens, we're going to make a video or we're going to go live. So join the over 26,000 members of the Who Dat Nation that are a part of our squad by subscribing today. It's 100% free. I promise you this. If you subscribe today, you will not want to unsubscribe tomorrow. So, like I said, this Sean Payton discussion, it's we're talking about the Broncos because there's that relationship and the connections from Sean Payton and the Saints to now the Denver Broncos. And the pipeline, it's extensive. Just in terms of the coaching staff, these are all guys who, at some point in time, coached under Sean Payton and now coached with him in Denver / coached with him last year. You got Joe Lombardi, Zach Strief, Michael Willott, Declan Doyle, Mike Westhoff, Pete Carmichael. He's now the senior assistant over there. John Morton, Chris Banjo, Joe Vitt. And then on top of that, you also have a handful of players. You got running back Tony Jones Jr., you got Dwayne Washington, Marquez Callaway, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Adam Troutman, Chris Manners, Will Lutz, Brett Maher. All of these guys played for Sean Payton in New Orleans at some point and also were with the Denver Broncos at any given time last season / last off season. So in terms of what would a trade look like, here's a trade idea that our Broncos breakdown host, Matthew Peterson, cooked up. And I don't want to throw him under the bus or anything, and I don't want to flame him too bad because I love the guy, to be honest. He's one of my great friends here at Chat Sports, but I think that this is kind of an insane trade idea. Would Taysom Hill for a 6th-round pick, I understand the contract makes it very tough to trade in. He's getting up there in age, but I kind of think that a 6th-rounder for literally getting a guy who can do anything, maybe not the best move. So if you think that this trade idea stinks, I want you to get in the comment section. Give me an FPD down there and get loud, because I think that a 6th-round pick, is a little bit disrespectful, but I want you to let me know. Give me the FPDs in the comment section. And as always, Saints fans, y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.